Have you ever stood in front of a sparkling Christmas tree, decked out with shiny ornaments, and wondered, what the hell is going on here? Let's use the logic of an alien looking down at humans. In the freezing cold of December, millions of families around the world grab a sawhead into the forest, cut down a perfectly living tree drag its corpse home, prop it up in the living room, and hang all sorts of plastic junk on it. Then we dance around this tree corpse and call it celebrating the joy of life. After 2 weeks, when the tree starts drying up and shedding needles, we haul it out to the trash heap, dumping it like yesterday's garbage. This isn't a festival. This is a legalized nature massacre, disguised under religion and fake glamour. Today, let's peel back the layers on the Christmas tree. Why do we do this weird shit? And who convinced the whole world that no tree means no Christmas? First truth, the Christmas tree has jack shit to do with Jesus. Flip through the Bible page by page. You won't find a single line about Jesus liking pine trees. Hell, the Bible even warns against chopping trees from the forest to decorate, calling it pagan behavior. That's right. The origins come from pagans, those polytheistic nature worshippers that the early church labeled as heretics. Ancient Egyptians, Vikings, Romans, they all feared winter. Winter was when the sun vanished, trees died, and darkness took over. They worried the sun god was sick or dead. So they brought evergreen branches, trees that don't lose their leaves in winter, into their homes. Why? Magic. They believed the green would ward off evil spirits, chase away death, and remind the sun god to hurry up and bring spring back. So, essentially, when you set up a Christmas tree in your house, you're performing an ancient Viking exorcism ritual, not celebrating Jesus' birthday. Congrats! You've just become an amateur wizard. But how did this heretical ritual become a global icon? The answer boils down to 2 words: KOL, key opinion leader, and trend. The first coal for this trend was Martin Luther, the famous German religious reformer from the 16th century. Legend has it, and legends are mostly made-up bullshit. One night while walking in the woods, he saw stars twinkling through the pine branches and thought it was beautiful. He chopped down a tree, brought it home, and stuck candles on the branches to show his kids the light of God. Sounds romantic, right? But the Germans were already into this tree thing long before. Martin Luther just made it kosher for Protestants. However, the real powerhouse who turned Christmas trees into a global addiction wasn't Martin Luther. It was the most powerful couple of the 19th century, Queen Victoria of England and her husband, Prince Albert. Prince Albert was German. When he married into the British royals, he got homesick. He missed the tree decorating tradition from his homeland. In 1848, he set up a massive tree at Windsor Castle, decked out with candles, candies, fruits, and toys. And here's the history-changing moment. A London newspaper illustrated the royal family happily gathered around that tree and slapped it on the front page. Back then, Queen Victoria was the world's #1 idol. She was the center of the universe, the ultimate trendsetter. If the Queen wore a bonnet, the world wore bonnets. If she kept corgis, everyone got corgis. When people saw that picture of the Queen with her tree, a frenzy erupted. The British aristocracy started competing to put up trees to prove they were as classy as the royals. The middle class copied the aristocracy. The working class copied the middle class. From England, it spread to America. From America, thanks to Hollywood's muscle and Coca-Cola's marketing, it went worldwide. See? You're not putting up a tree because of faith. You're doing it because you're mimicking a 200-year-old flex trend from British nobility. You're keeping up with the Joneses without even realizing it. And now, let's talk about the darkest side: money and the environment. These days, there are 2 camps: real tree lovers and fake plastic tree fans. And guess what? Both are getting played by corporations. The real tree crowd brags, "I love nature. I go for the real deal, smells so fresh." But buddy, to get that 6-foot tree for your 2-week display, it takes 7 to 10 years to grow. Millions of acres of land get tied up. Tons of pesticides and chemical fertilizers get dumped to keep it perfectly green and bug-free. Then, fleets of trucks and planes ship these trees around the world, belching out tons of CO2. And the end game. After the holidays, into the trash, millions of trees rotting in landfills. releasing methane that cranks up the greenhouse effect. It's an insanely wasteful, pointless waste production cycle. What about the fake tree folks? I'm smart. I buy plastic and use it forever. Sounds economical. But what's plastic made from? PVC, from oil, and most are churned out in Chinese factories where workers breathe toxic fumes. You think you'll use it forever? Nah, the manufacturers are sneaky as hell. Every year, they drop a new model. This year, snow-flocked trees. Next, lead color-changing ones. Then pink or black trees. They prey on your board with old stuff vibe. The average American family swaps out their plastic tree every 5 to 6 years. And where does the old one go? It doesn't biodegrade. It sits in landfills forever or floats into the ocean, choking sea turtles for the next 1,000 years. And that's not all. The biggest scam is the stuff you hang on it. Ornaments, the retail industry's gold mine back in the day. People hung apples, nuts, cookies on the tree. Hungry, pluck one off and eat. Pretty and practical. But capitalists hated that. They couldn't mock up nuts. So, in the late 19th century, an American businessman named F.W. Woolworth imported glass balls from Germany. At first, he doubted who'd buy these fragile balls, but he was wrong. People went nuts for them because they sparkled, because they screamed wealth from their trends every year. This year, gold and red. You gotta buy the gold-red set. Next year, silver and blue. Your gold-red looks dated, so toss it. Buy new. The year after, vintage wooden rustic, dump the silver blue, grab wood. That tree in your house, it's basically a display shelf for crap you buy yourself. Decorate yourself, then stress over because it doesn't look as good as your neighbor's. You're serving the tree. The tree isn't serving you. So, what now? I'm not telling you to ditch the tree altogether. Life's grim enough. A bit of sparkle is fun, but do it with your eyes wide open. Don't chase trends. Don't swap plastic trees like shirts. If you go real, find places that recycle them into mulch post-holidays. Or best yet, go back to the old ways or the original pagan vibes. Hang edibles on it, candy, cookies, dried fruit. After, eat it all. Fun, no waste, saves cash on pointless plastic balls. Remember, Christmas beauty isn't about how big the tree is or how pricey the decorations. It's about the people around it. If you drop $500 on a tree, but everyone's glued to their phones, ignoring each other, it's just an expensive pile of dead wood. And before you wrap this video and rush off to buy decorations, do one free thing worth more than gold. Hit that subscribe button and smash the bell icon right next to it. Why? Because out there, billions of marketing traps are waiting to empty your wallet this holiday season. You need a guide. You need an antidote to keep your money safe and your mind sharp. I'll be that for you. Don't be a sheep this holiday season. Be a wolf. See you in the next episode where I'll expose the voice of a queen. Everyone thinks sings for passion, but really sings for retirement funds. Cheers and conquer.